Okay, first we are going to crush up our cookies. Now, I'm using the food processor. You can put these in a bag and smash them with a rolling pin. Here's how you smash them with a rolling pin. Flip it. Flip it. Then flip it. Why you flip it is because the big pieces fall to the bottom, so then you can turn it over and crush them. Okay, and then you have crumbs. Isn't that easy? But a lot of people like using their food processor. Now I'm making way more because I'm mashing them up because I have several recipes to do. Get a couple of big pieces, just smash them up, it's no biggie.
Give them to your husband.
Give them to your husband.
That's the kind of get well cards I want, right there.
Now I'm saving my bag because I'm gonna have leftover cookies for when I make my next recipe. So I've got my butter here. Now, because I am using Oreos instead of just wafer cookies without the extra sweet, I'm not gonna add the extra sugar this time. But if you just use like chocolate bear cookies or chocolate animal crackers or anything like that, then you can add the extra sugar. Okay. Is that possibly right?
It doesn't look like very much. You could just add a little more. There's no way.
There's no way. Did we find a typo? It's supposed to be 2 cups. I think we found a typo. Okay. Let's see. Am I a failure as a cookbook editor?
No. We just need to test them a lot more and eat more cheesecake.
Is that what it is? This recipe's in our Dining on a Dime Volume 2 cookbook, and if you have it, this is a typo. It should be 2 cups. Okay. That's much better. Oh no. Okay, to everyone who's been making this recipe and you're wondering, Tara, what's wrong? I am so sorry. That is just a typo.
How many of them looked in there and said, that doesn't look like enough, I'm adding more?
I know. Probably a lot.
Never hurts with cookies to add more, right?
No, it does not.
So you don't put any of this on the back of the cheesecake? Just on the
Some
bottom?
people do, but I don't like that much crust. I don't like crust on the sides. Okay, there we go. Now set that to the side. Then you're going to take your semi-sweet chocolate chips. I like these mini ones because they melt quicker, and this is 2 cups, 12 ounces is 2 cups. I'm going to pour it in my measuring cup, and we are going to melt this in the microwave. Oops. What the heck? They're melted. How did they get melted?
You're so hot.
Oh, thanks. It's my Tara's toupee, isn't it?
So this recipe doesn't call for vanilla, but maybe Mom needs some now.
Mom needs the whole thing now. So when you're melting chocolate, be sure you stir every 30 seconds or so, because if you don't, the heat will concentrate in one area and burn your chocolate. And burnt chocolate is a very bad thing. Ooh, yum. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary, honey.
Okay, we're going to preheat our oven at 350. Then we're going to take our 2 packages of softened cream cheese. Maybe. Okay, am I the only one that has a problem with this? There. Then we're going to get 3/4 cup of sugar and 2 tablespoons of flour. This is a 1/4 cup measure. Half of that is 2 tablespoons. Oh. Eggs. The recipe is in the description below as always. And a teaspoon of vanilla. Oops, I didn't follow my own directions. That's all right. Okay, you see how there are some lumps? I personally don't mind the lumps, but if you want perfectly smooth cheesecake, you can push the beaters against the side and that helps break them down. Or you can take the back of a spoon and just press the batter. Now, there are people that say, oh, you can put it through a sieve and all that. Why dirty a sieve when you can just dirty a spoon? But if your cream cheese wasn't completely mixed without the lumps and you don't like the lumps, which is fine, just push it on the back just like that, okay? Okay, and now we're going to stir in our melted chocolate. Oh. Doesn't that make your mouth want to water, dear?
Yep.
Good question, observant one. Why didn't I use the mixer? Because you don't want to mix in too much air, because then air pockets get in there and it'll poof up and fall down. And you don't want it to poof up and fall down. Just like your boobs. You don't want them to poof up and fall down.
I wouldn't know.
Oh, thank goodness. All right. All right, now it's going in the oven for 45 minutes. There we go. All right, it has been 45 minutes. Oh, yum. That looks delicious. Okay, so now we're gonna let it cool on the rack for about 10 minutes. Okay, now you're gonna wanna run a knife around the edge just to make sure that it has an easy, release, and then finish letting it cool. You can kind of feel it releasing when it does. Okay, now we're gonna let it cool completely. All right, my chocolate cheesecake has been sitting in the refrigerator overnight. Now, I'm going to make a chocolate ganache, which is a fancy word for melted chocolate chips and whipped cream to pour on top. Now, my family decided to chip off pieces so that the amount of chocolate that was in here wasn't the same. So this is about a quarter of a bag, 4 ounces, a half a cup of chocolate chips in here. And then I'm going to put just a little bit of whipping cream, just about that much, about 2 tablespoons. And we're going to microwave this until it's liquid. Okay, about every 30 seconds or so, you're going to stir so your chocolate doesn't burn. Get the hot stuff up there to melt the... Okay, I think that might be hot enough to get it smooth. Okay, so let me scrape off all the stuff on top here, because you can't waste chocolate. Wasting chocolate is like a commandment, isn't it? Thou shalt not waste chocolate, I'm sure. It's somewhere in the Bible. Okay, for all of those who are going to comment, I'm only joking. It's a joke. Okay, now I think there's enough residual heat from my measuring cup here to get it melted. Ooh, that's looking, what do you think, dear? Is that looking delicious?
Yep.
Now the reason why I'm not microwaving it still is because I don't want to burn my chocolate. And since I can still feel my measuring cup is hot, I'm just letting the residual heat continue to melt the rest so I don't burn my chocolate. Oh my goodness. Now this isn't in the cookbook because I don't know why it's not. But it's what I do. Guys, you have to understand, we wrote these cookbooks 25 years ago. Volume 1 was 25 years ago, and Volume 2 was, what, 6 or 8 years ago? And so I've changed things since I've written the cookbook. So it doesn't mean the recipe's wrong, well, except for the typo. But, okay, so now yesterday we ran our knife around the edge like so. So if you didn't do that to get it loosened, do that now. Now, take and open your pan, and then here's the fun part. Got to loosen it from your pan. It's not coming off. There we go. Whew. That was a pretty intense moment there.
Crust looks good.
Okay. Then just spread it around until you have a thin layer, and then you can also let some dribble over the edge. Just keep moving it out until you get a little bit going over the edge. Mine kind of sunk just a little bit in the center, but that's fine. All right, what do you think, dear? Does that look delicious?
Yes.
Okay, now you can let this harden, which is fine if you want to. Okay, since it's Valentine's Day, we're going to add our cherries. This is our cherry pie filling. And just going to put a neat little pile like that. Then refrigerated this to get this all firmed up, and then you can cut it.